Hi, everyone. This is Laura Combrink, otherwise known as Coach Laura. And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to talk about the new system that I have put into my coaching program. This system is one of the best that I've seen. A lot of you are using some very cumbersome Excel spreadsheets. I have seen some of the most complicated Excel spreadsheets in the world for agents who are tracking their team numbers, their personal numbers, tracking your prospecting, your follow-up work, your contacts, and then you have a whole separate system for tracking things that have gone under contract, tracking your dollars, your potential commission, your actual commission, listings, so on and so forth. So when I decided to start this coaching company, I wanted to find a system that was simple to use, not based on spreadsheets. I wanted something that was updated and modern, and I wanted something that would allow for use on mobile phones and iOS devices. So, doing my research, I found a system that I think is really, really awesome. I want to go through it with you and show you what all this system can do. Now, when I coach, I typically coach teams or brokerages, multiple agents. But what I want you to know is if you're a single agent, a standalone agent, you don't have a team, this system is still wonderful for you. The thing that agents have a challenge with is understanding that you guys are in business. We tend not to treat our real estate businesses like businesses. And so as a coach, a lot of times I'm helping my clients take a look at their real estate businesses and start actually treating it like a business. One part of the process is tracking and knowing your numbers. You'd be surprised at how many people can't tell me how many pendings they have. They can't tell me how many transactions they've closed. They can't tell me how many listings they currently have that are active, so on and so forth. So I'm so glad I found this system. So let's get started. What I'm showing you here on this screen is my client login. If you're coaching with me, you will recognize this screen. You will go to my website, lauracombrink.com, click on the client login tab, and this is where you're going to log in if you're logging in online on your PC. But as I mentioned before, this is a mobile system in addition to being a PC-based system. So let's go on through and let's talk about what this system can do. So when I bring a new client on board, I'm going to ask some questions. I'm going to have you and your team uploaded into my data tracking system. Once we get you uploaded, you're going to receive an app to download on your cell phone. And one of the first things I'm going to want you to do is I'm going to want you to set up your profile. And that's what you're seeing here is a screenshot of a mobile phone. The client has logged in and we have the profile. Now, a lot of the profile will be already set up for you based on the information that you give me. But what you'll notice at the very top is a field that's called desired income. You'll see on the screen a number of $300,000. So we always start with the end in mind. So if you're wanting to make in commission income, if you're going to want to earn $100,000 a year, $200,000 a year, $500,000 a year, whatever that goal is, I'll be working with you to get those goals set up. And what the system is going to do for you, I'm going to show you, is going to show you what you need to do daily, weekly, monthly, yearly in order to hit your goal. And we talk about key performance indicators. We talk about dollar productive activities. I think the biggest challenge that agents have is setting goals, right? We set goals, but we have absolutely no idea how to achieve them. And we have absolutely no idea if we're on target to achieve them. And this system is one of those things that helps us to do that, and it does it automatically for us. So when you first log in on your cell phone, you're going to want to make sure that you set up your profile page. And that's what you're seeing here. Now this is the dashboard, and this is a basic, just when you log in, it's your immediate dashboard. It gives you quite a lot of information. It's called a scoreboard. And the reason it's called a scoreboard is it really gives you at a glance how you're doing against your goals. So if you'll notice, this one is set to this year. So far this year, this particular agent has $56,085 of transactions under contract, and has closed $91,862 commissions so far. And you'll notice these little circles down the center, and these little circles are the key performance indicators that are being tracked. So for example, number of contacts, number of appointments set, buyer brokerage agreements signed, listings taken, how many are under contract, and how many are closed. And you'll see that they're color coded. I'll explain that a little bit later on. But think about hot, warm, and cold. Cold, warm, and hot. Cold tends to lean towards the blue. And of course, the closer we get to red, that means the hotter we are at hitting our goals. And if you look further down on the screen, you'll see some squares at the bottom. There's scoreboard, reports, record, and teams. So there's a lot of information on this dashboard screen. You get to see where you are at a glance. You can also look at things from different angles. For example, we can look at monthly, where we are for this month, where we are for today, where we are for the year, and so on and so forth. So you can really drill it down and look at your numbers based on different variables, different time frames, right within your dashboard on your cell phone, which I think is pretty awesome. Keeping your numbers in front of you keeps your mind on what your mind needs to be on. The next screen that I'm showing you is also on your mobile device, how you can easily update your key indicators. What do I mean by that? So let's say you got a call off of one of your signs and you spoke with someone. You're going to want to update your dashboard. Super easy to do from your cell phone with the app. You'll notice that this person has made 3 contacts, set 1 appointment, has 2 agreements signed, 1 under contract, 0 closed, and then there are other variables there like referrals and the number of hours spent prospecting and so on and so forth. And so you'll notice plus and minus signs on this screen. So it's very easy. You get off the phone, you go into your app, you hit the plus sign, and you've added a new contact. If you set an appointment, you hit the plus sign, you can add that in. Or you can type in the actual number. So super easy to use from your cell phone, anywhere that you happen to be. You don't have to wait to get into the office to go in and update something on your computer screen. You can do it straight from your cell phone. Also, you have the ability to add contacts. Now, there's 2 ways to add a contact. So let's say you're at an open house and you pick up a new contact today at an open house. You go in and you have a contact section where you're going to go into your cell phone, right there on your cell phone. Doesn't have to be your computer. You're going to determine, are they a buyer or a seller? Put in their name, their email address, their phone number. Based on your conversation with them, if you're using scripts and dialogues that I teach my clients to use, you're going to know roughly the price range that they're looking to purchase in if they're a buyer, or the price range of their home if they're looking to list. And this will calculate the commission amount for you. Enter that in, you'll calculate your potential commission amount and add it into the screen. That is one way to add contacts into the system. Also, if you have another system there you're generating leads from, whether it be Boomtown, Tiger Leads, Conversion, Commissions Inc., Firepoint, Chime, whatever system you're using to generate leads, we can actually export the leads out of the system that you're using and import them into this accountability system that we have. And let me show you why you would want your leads entered in. So what's going on here is this particular agent has added their leads into their app on their cell phone. And so when it comes time to make a call to this lead, they don't have to wait and go back into their database and look the number up. They simply pull it up through their app here on their cell phone, and they can actually call the lead directly from the app. How convenient is that? All of your contacts are in your app, and when you have a few minutes to make some phone calls or you need to return a call, you can simply go into your app, pull it up, and make the call directly from the app. Now, at this time, the app does not calculate that into your calls made or your contacts made. So once you've ended the phone call, you'll still have to go back into the app and update. Let's go back a couple of screens. Update the information in this screen. My understanding is that we are working on developing the connection so that it will automatically update your reporting screen, your record screen or recording screen. But at this time it does not. But how convenient is it to be able to have within your app, your contacts, your leads, right there handy in your cell phone without having to go to another database or another place to find them. Really, really awesome. Love that feature. Now, when you're setting up your app, you're going to want to decide what types of things you're going to want to track. As a coach, I want you to track it all, because when I'm coaching and I'm working with you on scripts and dialogues and your conversion rates, one of the key indicators is right at the top. How many dials are you making? How many phone calls are you making? How many phone calls does it take to get to an appointment? How many phone calls does it take for you to get to a sale? So in this case, this particular screen is not tracking number of dials, but as a coach, I would want you to track number of dials. What about how many CMAs you've prepared? How about thank you cards that you send out? How many open houses are you doing? How many referrals have you asked for? How many referrals have you received? How much time are you spending prospecting? Do you want these people added to the database? How many appointments did you set? So these are all key indicators that you can track within the app on your cell phone. It's all kinds of data. Remember, garbage in, garbage out. So the better you are at tracking your data, and we can, as a coach, I can drill it down. We can drill it down and really look at what skill sets you need to master in order to get your numbers up, get the number of sales up, get the number of contracts up, number of listings up. And as a coach, these numbers are invaluable. It's kind of like being a baseball coach, right? Where I'm looking at my players' batting averages. Now, if you're the broker or the lead agent or the sales manager of a team, this data, you're going to be able to collect this data from every agent on your team. And that means when you're looking at this, you also can help your team members understand their numbers. You can understand their numbers, and you'll know exactly how to help them do better. So it's just invaluable. So making sure that when you use this system, when you set your system up, that you make sure you go in and make sure all of those key indicators are turned on, okay? All righty. So this is one of my favorite screens. Remember I said you're going to go in at the beginning when I first start working with you on this. You're going to go in and we're going to determine what your goals are, okay? And I work with you on that. So, you know, how much money do I want to earn in real estate? And what the system will do is take and break that down for you. And it'll tell you, and in this case, a daily has been selected. This particular agent needs to talk to 18 people today. They need to make sure they set at least one appointment, that they get something signed, the buyer broker agreement or the listing agreement signed, that they get somebody under contract, and that they have a closing. So this thing will break it down for you on a daily basis based on your average sales price, your particular market, as to what you need to do on a daily basis to hit your goals. It doesn't get any easier than that. I mean, 18 contacts, that's very, very doable. in a day. In this particular case now, we are pulling up what this agent has done, and again, this is on the cell phone, is pulling up where they are against the goals that they set. In this case, he's chosen the 1 month period. How is he doing for this month? And you'll notice, remember I said blue is cold, and the closer we get to red, that's hot, okay? So as far as the number of contacts that he needed to reach for the month, you'll see that he needed to reach 18 people, needed to talk to 18 people. He's actually talked to 395. So he's way ahead of his goals that he set. Same thing with appointments, same things with buyer-broker agreements signed, same thing with listings, under contract. So this particular agent is ahead of the curve. In other words, he's well on his way to completing or being able to reach his goals. Here's some other reports, another example of a report where maybe we're not as strong. You know, we're getting buyer brokerage agreements signed and we're hitting our goals in some areas, but we're falling short in others. So as a coach, I can look at these numbers and help this agent out very, very easily. You know, we got to look at time blocking. We got to look at your lead gen system. We got to look at your scripts and dialogues. But I would definitely say that at a glance, the first thing that comes to mind is this particular agent is not making enough phone calls. And so from your cell phone at any given point, you can look at how you're doing. And, you know, with a coach, you can work with a coach to understand what it is that you need to do differently in order to hit your goals. Super, super fantastic. And we're still all doing on this, all of this stuff is on the cell phone, okay? Right at your fingertips in your cell phone. Now, the biggest challenge that I have found with agents is I can give them a million different systems for tracking their numbers. The biggest challenge is them actually getting in the habit of entering their numbers into their tracking systems. And spreadsheets were a nightmare. Formulas would get messed up. There would be corrupted formulas. They would not save the spreadsheets. And it's just a pain in the butt. You had to get on your computer, you had to pull down a spreadsheet. And then looking at the data on the spreadsheet was just like, I don't even know. This is confusing. Don't know what it means. So one thing I love about this system is it's not dependent on you remembering what to do. Within the system itself, you can set up a daily reminder. As a coach, I want you to enter your numbers on a daily basis. And you can do that one of two ways. You get to the end of the day, right? And you're done for the day. You're not going to be making any more phone calls. So you can go in and enter your data at the end of the day. But what I tend to prefer is enter yesterday's totals in from the previous day. Now, because this is mobile, it's not that hard to go into the app and enter as you go. So if you talk to 5 people, when you get a moment, get into the app and update your board. Okay, update your data. I talked to 5 people. I had 5 contacts. They set 2 appointments. Boom, 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 quick and easy app on your cell phone. But a lot of us forget, just plain and simple, especially when we're developing a new habit. So what this app allows you to do is to set up a daily reminder. Like I said, I don't care if it's the end of the day or first thing in the morning for the previous day's work. But I love that the system within itself helps you hold yourself accountable to doing and tracking your numbers. And we all know how important tracking our numbers can be. So I love that. Now I'm moving away from the mobile app and away from the individual agent. And now I want to talk to my team leaders. I want to talk to my sales managers. I want to talk to my brokers. And what you're seeing on my screen is a screenshot of what this system looks like on your computer, your PC. And what you'll see is this really awesome dashboard, and it's based on the team's progress as a whole. And what you're seeing is this particular team It's the total number for all the agents and what everyone is doing as a whole, as a team, as a brokerage. And again, it's color coded in the same way, warm to cold, cold to warm. So blue is cold. It means we're not on target. We're not meeting the expectations that we had set for ourselves as a team. Yellow is all right, we're on pace, and red means we're there, hot, 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 doing a great job. So when you log in online, this is the screen that's going to come up for you. And what you see here in the next screen is there's all kinds of variables that you can look at. So let's say you're a broker. In this case, we're looking at a broker, okay? And there are multiple teams within the brokerages and individual agents and so on and so forth. So if you're looking at this as a broker, and we're looking specifically at units. So we're looking at under contract and closed. As you can see, we've got 30 under contract, 87 closed. You have a leaderboard that ranks your people, okay? You've got teams in volume and agents in volume. So it shows you your teams and what they're doing in sales volume. It shows you your agents that are in your brokerage and what they're doing in volume. And at the very top, you can see the different key performance indicators, contacts, appointments, buyer broker agreements signed, listings, contracts, and closed. And at a glance, you can get a pretty good pulse on what's going on with your brokerage, with your team, and where you all are in the pipeline. Now for my team leaders, what I can see here in this dashboard is you'll notice that I have an overall view. So you'll notice that I see, let's just look at this. Under contract, we have, as a team, $1.4 million under contract for the month. And we're a little bit behind what we said we wanted to do. The goal is 7.4 million. We wanted to be at we're only at 1.4. What do we have closed? Okay, we wanted to do 5 million. We've got 3.7 million. So we're on track depending on what day of the month this is. But yellow is getting us close, right? I want to see how many units are under contract. I'm sorry, this was closed. This is under contract, and then units closed. So volume and units. I like to say volume and customers served, families served. In addition to the quick glance here, you'll see our closed volume leaders are listed here below. So each individual agent ranked by their volume. And that gives you a quick glance to see who's ahead of the pack, who are your top agents, how are they performing at a glance. And as they enter, so think about this for a moment, my team leaders. Each one of your agents is going to have their mobile login and password. And as they're going through their day, they're prospecting, they're selling real estate, they're taking appointments, they're doing listing presentations, they're moving people through the pipeline. They're going to be updating their numbers within the app on their cell phone. For you, as they do that, this data updates as they're updating their apps. You're getting live time updates on your screen. So you might look at this in the morning and go back and glance at it in the afternoon, and the thing might come depending on what each agent has put in and entered into their app on their phone, which is pretty awesome. So you always can look at live. And as a coach, I recommend you do at least one prospecting night a month. I'd prefer once a week. Right? Some people call it hour of power. We get together as a team, we get a pizza, and we just hit those phones. We role play, we get excited, and we just boom, boom, boom. We're popping it to see how many appointments we can set in a night. If you have this pulled up and your agents are entering in their appointments as they're prospecting, your leaderboard is going to move, right? It's a lot of fun to have that type of thing going on. Very dynamic, very exciting. Friendly competition, love it, love it, love it. As a team leader, you are able to choose a particular team member and drill down and look at their numbers in particular. Well, let me show you some things on this screen. The different metrics that we're measuring, contacts, appointments, listings, so on and so forth. And the commission. okay? And then we have a team standard, and we have their own personal standard. So when we look at this particular agent, you'll notice that the colors again, blue, cold, yellow is warm, red is hot. So you as the team leader can set a team standard. Monthly, I want my agents to have at least 400 contacts a month. This is what it's going to take. And you'll work with your coach. In this case, I'm the coach. You'll work with me. I'll work with you on setting up the team standard. You know, I believe in standards. I believe in minimum expectations to be part of a team. And so what we'll do is set up those minimum standards. Okay, so the monthly minimum standard is 400 contacts in a month, 8 appointments in a month. That's what I'm looking for my team members. I want them to have at least 2 buyer-broker agreements signed per month. Now, as a coach, that's a little bit low, but okay. I want each of my team members to have at least 3 listings a month. I want them to have at least 4 people under contract a month. Okay, and I want them to close a minimum of 3 transactions per month. All of this very doable depending on your lead sources. And you can go in and look at each one of your agents and how they're doing against the goals that you set, the minimum expectations, but also against the goals that they set for themselves. So in this case, you're requiring 400 contacts a month, but this particular agent says, I want to do more than that. I want to make more money than that. Now, when we look at how he's performing and how he's pacing, he looks behind. I mean, he's not making enough contacts. But if we go and we look at how many transactions he's closed to date, holy cow, the team standard for the month is 3. He said he wanted to close 4, and he's closed 7. So we can't really fuss at him too much because he may not be making as many contacts as we would like, but he is maximizing the contacts that he has made. The reason this is so awesome is you can literally sit down and do one-on-ones with your agents. 15 minutes, go over where they are, discuss the weaknesses. In this case, I'd say he's doing very well when he is on the phone prospecting. He's setting appointments, he's getting with people, but chances are because he's had 7 closings, you're going to have to watch it. We don't want this agent to ride the financial roller coaster. And the first thing agents stop doing when they get this many clients is they stop prospecting. And so you want to make sure when you're doing a one-on-one with this agent, you want to make sure that you're covering, hey, you got to be careful. You want to make sure that they understand that when the minute they give up their prospecting, that prospecting is what got them to this number. And that's when, as a coach, I would be talking with this agent about time blocking, time management, protecting that prospecting time. And I would look at how are we handling non-dollar productive activity? Is my agent getting tied up having to take the transaction to closing? Maybe I get a transaction coordinator, take that off his plate, because I can see that when I put this agent on the phone, he makes things happen. So I want to keep him on the phone, and I want to keep him in front of clients, and I want to give him the tools he needs to be able to do that. So you're getting a little peek into, as a coach, what I see when I see this data. And this is what you should see when you see this kind of data. And the great thing about this system is you can see it easily all in one place. You don't have to go here. You don't have to go there. You don't have to ask your agent to, he doesn't know what he's done. He has no clue. If you're counting on him to give you his numbers, he has no clue. So this is an awesome system for just being able to work with your agents, especially if you're the type of rainmaker who loves to develop your agents and help them succeed. This is an amazing tool for you to do that. So the question is, are we on pace? You'll see the little black lines. There's 2 areas we're on pace, and that's in sales volume closed and in number of units closed. We're definitely on pace. We're 14. The goal was 17. We're at 3.7 million. We're supposed to be doing 5 million. Where are we behind? Things that are under contract. So what I see is we've closed, but we're not putting enough under contract to keep up that pace. See the little black bar? Why is that? Why does that happen? I'll tell you as a coach. It happens because as soon as your agents get a few things under contract, they stop prospecting, okay? And so you can see that if we don't pick up the pace, we're not going to hit our number. See how these numbers are so valuable to you? All right, this is one of my favorite parts because it has to deal with the operations side and the team and the transactions coming in through the pipeline. As a broker or a team leader, this is invaluable. And what this screen does is it goes, you'll see here, buyer seller, the name of the buyer or the seller, and you're going to see where they are in the process. Buyer and listing agreements signed. All right, we've got one for this client. We've got one for this client. How many of our clients are under contract? These two are under contract. How many have closed? Well, these people have closed. It's a whole report, and it calculates it. Let me go back to some of the key performance indicators. Oh, I went too far. Pardon me, guys. So if we're looking at contacts, appointments, buyer broker agreements signed, listings, under contract, closed commission, all of those variables are calculated in this screen. You can see people coming through the flow, coming through the pipeline. And there's always a dollar amount attached that's commission or potential commission generated by that particular client. Okay, so let's go back. So if I've got a contact that I made and I've discussed with them what price range they're looking to buy in, and I've set the appointment with them, what's going to happen is if I'm entering my data properly as an agent, then those numbers are going to calculate here. Does that make sense? So you're going to know what every contact is worth. So is your agent, by the way. You're going to know what every appointment is worth, potential income. You're going to know what every buyer brokerage agreement is worth, what every listing is worth, what under contract is worth. And this is what really, you can see it as the rainmaker, but each individual agent can see their own clients and they can see their numbers. So if we go back to the screens that the agents have, they have these numbers in front of them as well. Every day, their numbers. So if they've got an appointment, if they've got a contact, every time they enter a contact in, let's go find that screen, commission amount is here. When they fill that commission amount in, that translates into your numbers, but it also translates into theirs. And they are keeping up with where this contact is in the process. So they're going to be tracking this particular contact from contact to appointment, from appointment to either listing or buyer agency signed, from there to putting them under contract, and from contract to close. This system takes a lead and walks it all the way through from contact. Actually, it walks them through beyond close, because it also, for the agents, walks them all the way through to the day that they get their commission check. And it's so much easier for your agents to use because it is mobile, that they will use it. Because they can set up a push notification so that they get a reminder every day to put their totals in there. Because their contacts are uploaded into the system, they'll use it because there's the phone numbers for their folks. So you're going to find that you have more prospecting going on with the leads that you're generating, which is what you're looking for. You'll have the data you need to see who's doing well, who's maybe not doing as well, and you'll have enough data for each agent to actually be able to sit down with them, or have your coach, hopefully me, sit down with them and be able to say, look, here's what we need to do. We need to role play. You're not making enough calls, so we need to make sure you're getting enough phone calls in. You're not closing them in the field, so I need you to shadow one of my top agents. You're doing lots of great listing appointments, but you're not coming back with listings, so we need to work on your listing presentation. See how this, and I'm getting so excited, how this data allows you to really drill down. And the fact that it's all in one place, the fact that it's mobile, The fact that it feeds in live information helps you as a rainmaker or a broker really, really help your clients, really, really help your agents, and really always see what you've got going on within your business. Remember, information is power. No more spreadsheets. No more multiple systems. Let's get everything in one place, all the valuable information that you need. Get it all into one place, and let's start building these businesses with intention. Let's start succeeding. All right, if you have any questions, I have put my contact information up here. Feel free to email me, feel free to call me. I love talking to people about their businesses. I love talking about data. You guys have a tremendous day, and I hope I get to talk to you soon. Thank you so much.